1 year on from Brexit, I remember this really clearly. I was sat in the newsroom. My shift was meant to be ending at 11:15, and then at 11 o'clock on the dot, Brexit happened. Christmas Eve, we couldn't believe it, and it became an all-nighter last year, so it was a momentous day. Is this the Brexit that you voted for and you helped to make happen?
Well, it's a really interesting preamble that you just gave me, because you described Brexit as if it was a binary event, that 1 minute we were in and the next minute we were out. And actually, Brexit isn't a binary event, and Brexit hasn't yet been done, not by my definition. And when we talk about the economic benefits of Brexit, and just moving perhaps onto Lord Frost's resignation, because one of the things he cited was that the government hadn't really delivered the kind of economic policy programme that he wanted, which was a smaller state, lower regulations, lower taxation. And the principal reason this government has been unable to deliver that kind of traditional Tory party policy agenda is because Lord Frost himself tied us into a trade and cooperation agreement, requiring us to align ourselves with EU state aid laws, competition laws, environmental laws, employment laws. You know, net zero, for example, used to be just something that Theresa May had put on the statute books. It is now something to which we are committed by international treaty. So the ability for the UK to deregulate, to have a small state, to cut taxes, is materially hampered by the very deal that Lord Frost and Boris Johnson claimed delivered Brexit. So my response is that we haven't actually got Brexit yet, because we're still stuck in this lunar orbit around the EU, stuck having to adhere to many of its regulations. I mean, I could go on ad nauseum if you like, and viewers will probably be rolling their eyes in seconds. But we really haven't properly Brexited yet. And I think for those of us who want an independent, nimble, competitive United Kingdom, it's a huge mistake to talk about Brexit in binary terms, because we have to continue this fight to make sure that we have the ability eventually genuinely to deregulate, to set our own laws, and to chart an independent trade policy for the United Kingdom.
You mentioned Lord Frost there. I just want to get your opinion on the resignation of Lord Frost. And actually, some might say that this is bad for Brexit. But what are your thoughts on this?
Well, Lord Frost is another cog in the Tory party sort of Brexit delivery team, if you like. And I never really saw Lord Frost, and I think it's a mistake to fate individuals in the way that Lord Frost was fated by Brexiteers. His rhetoric was superb, but ultimately he was a cog in the Tory wheel. And the Tory wheel is a very, very confused one. It's got loads of Remainers still in the party, and it's got a Brexit sort of hardcore faction, if you like. And Lord Frost was torn between these two. No one really knows whether Lord Frost was a Remainer or a Brexiteer, by the way. No one knows how he voted in 2016. And I remember when he was representing the Scottish distilleries that he was talking about the virtues of the single market. So, you know, I think it's very dangerous to think of Lord Frost in terms of sort of idyllic, the embodiment of what Brexiteers want. Lord Frost resigned, I think, mainly because he knew the Northern Ireland Protocol, which he was trying to has been trying to renegotiate, would be a disaster in the end. That the UK was not going to do what was right by Northern Ireland, that we don't have the courage to invoke Article 16, which is the article in the protocol giving us the ability to suspend parts of it to protect Northern Ireland. I think he knew we were going to capitulate on the protocol, that we were going to get some sort of fudge on the European Court of Justice's supremacy over Northern Ireland, and he felt he just had to leave before that happened. You know, there's a really conspicuous absence of the Northern Ireland Protocol in his resignation letter. And that was principally what he was working on. So I think Lord Frost pulled the ripcord just in time before the proverbial hit the fan.